Hi guys, it's me again, Danielle. I'm just here to kind of follow up from my introduction video that I did a day or two ago, just to kind of get in a good flow of kind of my journey before I have surgery, kind of some different things I want to touch on. So that way when I get closer to surgery, which is happening pretty soon, I don't know the exact date yet, you guys can follow me on that journey. You can follow me through the surgery date. You can follow me pre-surgery when I have to go on those supplement shakes, which I will get into at some point. You can follow me after surgery. So I kind of wanted to do not as many, but give you guys as much information as possible before that all happens, because it's going to be busy. So today's video is on what brought me to where I am today. I'm sorry if you hear the noise in the background. Those are my dogs play fighting right next to the room here. So I want to make it quite clear that this video isn't me not taking ownership for why I've gotten to where I've gotten to today. And it's not about me making excuses for where I have gotten to where I am today. It's just more of an explanation and background history, because I know a lot of people who are watching this who haven't seen me in a long time will be a little surprised that I am here, because I used to be quite fit. I used to be quite active. I used to run. I was doing 5K runs, mud runs, all of that stuff. I was walking. I used to be very particular about myself, and things kind of just transpired into a bit of a spiral to where I'm, got myself over 300 pounds. So I just want to kind of touch on all of that today. So there'll be some heavy stuff in here. It is stuff that I've dealt with, and it's not stuff that I dwell on. It has made me the person that I am today, and I'm very thankful for that. So I'm not here to try and, get to feel sorry for me, because I don't feel sorry for myself. I have moved on, and I continue to live each day to the best I can and enjoy life the best that I can. So what brought me here today? I've always struggled with mental illness. That is something that has been a part of who I am, probably since high school, probably longer than that, but more so high school was something where it kind of became more prominent, and I was diagnosed with depression. I thought about suicide every single day from high school up until a couple of years ago. I thought that was normal. I thought that was something that everybody thought about. So it really didn't faze me, and I didn't really kind of think that there was anything wrong with that. But of course, when something's a daily part of your day, a daily thing, you think it's normal. Why wouldn't you? Because it's a thought you've had for as long as you can remember. So I never really kind of pursued, after my diagnosis of depression, I never kind of pursued those thoughts, because I had it under control, or so I thought, and things kind of just spiraled out of control. So I want to say, well, right before I got married, I was diagnosed with bipolar depression, which, was one of the best diagnoses that could have ever happened to me, because it just made me feel like a totally different person. It made me feel like a new person. It was just phenomenal, and what brought me to that diagnosis was those thoughts of suicide became a reality. And one day after work, was going to come home, and I had a plan. I won't get into that plan because, I don't want to traumatize people. And the only thing that brought me out of not doing it was my husband, which is fantastic. That's great that the thought of, leaving him behind was what brought me out of that. But then I realized that I had a lot more, a lot of other things to be happy for, and him being the only reason why I didn't do it, I knew that was a problem. I knew that my life had so many more opportunities and, rays of sunshine than just my husband. Now, don't get me wrong, he's phenomenal, and I love him to death, and I don't know where I would be without him. But I knew that him being the only reason why I didn't kill myself was not okay. So thankfully, to some coworkers at the time, noticed my, you know, pretty large decline in my work habits and just my general mood, and then wanting to go home and follow out a plan that I had, you know, thought of. I decided that I was not going to work the next day, and I was going to go to the emergency department at the hospital, and that's what I did. So I was brought in as a crisis, and I was, you know, there for a couple of hours and met with a psychologist, and that leads me to my diagnosis of bipolar depression. Am I perfect every single day? No. Do I have my moments? Absolutely. Do I struggle? Yeah. I have struggled most of my life, but that doesn't mean that I can't live a fulfilling life, and I have. I don't use my diagnosis as an excuse, but, you know, sometimes there are reasons why there's a behavior, and sometimes, you know, there's an explanation to why somebody does some things that they do. For me, it was some reckless behavior before my diagnosis, and you know, those periods of highs and lows, and I struggled with those highs and the recklessness, and thank goodness my husband stuck with me through all of that, because I honestly, like I said, don't know where I would be without him today. So with that diagnosis came medication for management. And unfortunately, and I'm not sure if I'm going to add in this video what the medication, like a little snippet of it, but I'm going to tell you about it. It's called Seroquel, and it's an antipsychotic. It's kind of for mood stabilization. And it wasn't the first drug that I was tried on. I was tried on something else that I had extreme severe side effects from, and so that didn't work. So I was put on this drug, and I was told that weight gain could be a major possibility, major side effect, but I was extremely desperate in that situation, and I just wanted to get better. So I didn't challenge the drug. I just went with it, and, you know, because I was feeling better and it was working, I didn't really kind of say, no, I'm not going on this if this is going to be a side effect from that, because, you know, I already struggled with weight. You know, I already, you know, in high school and stuff, I was always very particular about my weight, and I didn't want to have to worry about that one more thing. But at the time, when you're sick, when you're sick and you're feeling your lowest you've ever felt, you'll do anything to try and make it better. And so, you know, I stuck with the medication. It was extremely successful. I feel it's made my life better, but it really made me gain a lot of weight. Close to almost 100 pounds, to be honest, in a very short period of time, because I have not been on the medication that long. So that is kind of part of the reason why I am where I am today. Some people may say, well, you know, you're on the medication, but you control what you eat. Well, when the drugs have you craving things that you're not supposed to be and increase your appetite, that doesn't help the situation either. So it's been quite a struggle. It's been a huge struggle to try and keep my weight under control, and eventually it just got to the point where I couldn't anymore. And it's been something that I've been dealing with for a while now. So some of the diets that I've tried the portion control, I've tried exercise, I've tried Weight Watchers, I've tried Beach Bodies, I tried the Atkins, I've tried a lot. And yeah, I was successful for some of them. But, you know, I'd only lose a certain amount and it would stop. The weight would take an extremely long time to lose. My doctor put me on another medication to try and help with that, and it never worked. In fact, it caused more problems than it did help. And so, you know, I did try. I was trying. Nobody ever wants to be overweight or fat. I mean, you get the comments from people about your weight, and it doesn't necessarily make you feel good at all. So nobody chooses to be overweight or chooses to be fat. I mean, that's not something people really want to do. But sometimes the food becomes comfort. It becomes something that, you know, you go to when you are not feeling that fantastic, or you've had a bad day at work, or whatever the reason is. And that mixed with my medication didn't help. So that is kind of where all of that began and why I am here. So a couple of years ago, maybe, I don't even know, not very long after I was put on the medication, I had a doctor refer me for bariatric surgery. I never really got a phone call back from the hospital. I don't know what happened there. There was a communication error, and I never really pursued it because I thought maybe I could do this. I thought I could give myself more time to do this. So, you know, because it's a scary thing. Going in for surgery is scary. This is going to be a lifelong commitment. It's not just something that's going to happen and it's going to just go away. It's something that I'm going to have to deal with for the rest of my life. So it kind of wasn't scary and intimidating at the time. So I didn't pursue it. So that's where that went. And last winter, I decided that I did possibly want to pursue bariatric surgery. Excuse me. And I did want to make some changes, and I did want to live a healthier life, because I do want to start running, and I do want to start exercising, and I do want to be the person I was before, because I used to love running. I used to love working out, but when you're overweight and you're working out, it hurts. And it's awkward. You know, things jiggle and move around, and you know, you're self-conscious. And especially when I knew what I used to be able to do at the gym, and now I can't do that because of the weight. So that's also extremely discouraging. But I've had a lot of support in all of that. So I'm very thankful. So my doctor did put in another referral. And that happened probably last spring. And then I had my very first meeting and follow-up with the bariatric clinic at Humber River Hospital in May. And it was a 3-hour information session, and it was everything. It was what is going to be expected of you before surgery, what is going to be expected from you after surgery for the rest of your life, the vitamins, the supplements, the nutritional shakes you're going to have to take beforehand, the risks of dying on the table, because it's a reality, and how the surgery is actually performed. All of that was covered in the first 3-hour session. I walked away from there overwhelmed, unsure of whether I wanted to continue on with this, especially the statistics of dying on the table. I think is like 1 in 300 or 1 in 500 or something like that. That's intimidating. That's scary. So, you know, good on them for doing the process that they do for the bariatric surgery, because you should walk away feeling informed that you can make this decision and that you know all the complications that are involved. So I left there and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, and I talked about it with my husband, and, you know, he was scared too with the information that was provided, but I can, you know, not convince him, but we talked about it, and he's been supportive. I mean, does he really want me at the end of the day to do this? No, he's worried that something might happen, but he knows that this is what I want, and he's been extremely supportive in all of this. So that's kind of it. I mean, for this video was just to explain how I got where I am today. My mental health diagnosis, the medication I was put on, and the weight gain from that medication. I also, I guess, should mention about my fertility struggles. I did have a lot of fertility struggles. James and I tried for about 3 years with different methods of fertility medication, injections, oral medications, getting my cycle tracked, my eggs tracked, so that I could pinpoint exactly when ovulation was. And I never got pregnant. So that was tough. I mean, that, I guess, probably contributed to some of the overeating too, because it's stressful. I mean, when you want something so badly and you can't have it, it is extremely discouraging and upsetting, and it's a kick to you. And I'm the type of person, when I want something, I want it now or yesterday. And the fact that it wasn't happening and it was out of my control was really difficult to deal with. So am I having kids right now? The answer to that is no. Am I having kids after surgery? The answer to that is probably not. People may say, why? Well, you know what? I'm happy with where my life is right now. I'm happy not having kids. I mean, we grow up in a society that women are supposed to grow up, get married, and have children. Well, that's kind of shifting. Women are growing up, they are getting married, but they're focusing on their careers, and that's okay. And I had to come to that understanding. And once I came to that understanding and kind of realized what it was that was really important to me, it was okay. It was okay, like, that I decided right now I don't want children. And after bariatric surgery, you can't have kids for 1.5 to 2 years after, because your body is readjusting to the surgery, and you could compromise the baby's nutrients because your body's still trying to figure all that out, and the absorption of things, and to try and add a baby into that, you could compromise them significantly. Do people get pregnant after surgery? Yeah, because you have a higher risk of getting pregnant after surgery because of the significant weight loss. So, you know, people do get pregnant, but I'm not willing to risk that. So will I have children in the future? I don't know. I don't know. Right now, I want to say no, because I'm happy. I'm okay with where I'm at. I'm okay with everything in my life. And I'm okay with just focusing on the bariatric journey and just kind of dealing with that as it comes. So will I change my mind after surgery? Do I kind of question my decision about having children? Yeah, I get worried that one day I'm going to get older and regret, and it's going to be too late. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. So if it's meant to be, it'll be. But, you know, after I'm going to be 32, the surgery is going to happen, and it's going to be 34, 35. I'm going to be 34, 35 before I can really kind of seriously think about having kids. If it takes a couple of years, then I'm getting closer to my late 30s. So I don't know if I'm okay with having kids that late. And I know people are going to say, well, people have kids in their 40s, sometimes 50s, and that's fine. But I don't know if that's for me. So I've accepted that, and I'm okay with it. I truly am at peace with all of it. In fact, I would say that some of my friends have noticed a significant difference in my attitude and my happiness since I've decided right now, you know, kids are out of the picture. So, and it's okay. So that's kind of that. That's my journey up until now. And I know I say journey a lot, but that's exactly what it is. That's where I am today. Why I got where I am today, my mental health diagnosis, my fertility struggle. That's kind of a bit of a snippet. That's kind of one of the things I told you guys I would talk to you about. Forgive me, I'm kind of getting used to this talking to a camera thing. It's kind of a little weird, but with the overwhelming response from the first video, I have to continue. I have to keep going, and I have to log this, because it was just, to have it viewed over 200 times was amazing. So I think that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please email me, message me. Please follow my YouTube channel. I will have the link in the description below. And please reach out if you need to. If you have any more questions about my mental illness, if you're struggling, if you don't know what to do, if you're feeling desperate and in despair, please contact me, because I know what that feeling is all about. I know what it's like to feel like suicide is the best option, because you feel like you would be better off that way, when you could be surrounded by so many people and feel still very alone when you feel suicidal. Some people don't understand suicide, but I get it. It was a daily struggle for many years. So please reach out if you need to. I'm always here to listen. There's also phone numbers, anything you need to call people if you need to talk to them. Don't feel like suicide is where you have to take things, because life is so much better on the other side. Life is so much better on the other side, and I can't say that enough. So anyways, I'm 20 minutes into this video, so I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like and follow my channel on YouTube. I will put the link in the description below, and I hope everybody has a good day. So I'll see you soon. Bye.